Welcome to DNTV Hyderabad. Podcast title Tackling Domestic Violence Issues Through Legal Aid Programs. Introduction. Welcome to episode 30 of our series Legal Issues Resolution at Legal Services Authority. In this episode, we focus on the critical role of legal aid programs in addressing domestic violence issues. Domestic violence continues to be a pervasive issue, and many issues face significant barriers to seeking justice, such as lack of resources, fear of retaliation, or not knowing their legal rights. Legal aid programs are essential in empowering survivors and ensuring they have access to the legal protection they need to escape abusive situations. In this episode, we will walk through how legal aid can help survivors of domestic violence take legal action, secure protection, and find safety. Segment 1. What is domestic violence? Defining domestic violence. Domestic violence refers to any form of abuse, whether physical, emotional, sexual, or financial, that occurs within a family or domestic setting. It can affect anyone regardless of gender, age, or socio-economic status, but it disproportionately impacts women and children. Types of domestic violence: physical abuse, hitting, slapping, or other physical harm; emotional and psychological abuse, intimidation, threats, and manipulation; sexual abuse, any unwanted sexual advances or violence; financial abuse, controlling access to money and resources. Impact on survivors. Domestic violence leaves deep emotional, psychological, and physical scars. Survivors often face difficulties in seeking help due to fear, isolation, or lack of financial independence. Segment 2. The role of legal aid programs in domestic violence cases. Providing legal counseling and guidance. Legal aid programs provide free legal counseling to survivors, helping them understanding their rights and options. PLVs, paralegal volunteers, and legal aid lawyers offer crucial support explaining how the legal system can help them address their situation. Filing protection orders. One of the most important services offered through legal aid programs is assisting victims in filing protection orders, also known as restraining orders. These legal orders can prevent an abuser from coming into contact with the survivor, providing a sense of security and safety. Assistance with divorce and custody matters. For survivors of domestic violence, legal aid can help with filing for divorce and addressing child custody issues. Legal aid lawyers represent survivors in family courts, ensuring that their safety is prioritized and their children's well-being is protected. Providing representation in court. Legal aid programs ensure that survivors of domestic violence are not alone when navigating the court system. Free legal representation is provided, helping victims file cases, present evidence, and secure judgments in their favor. Access to shelters and support services. Legal aid programs often work in conjunction with shelters and NGOs to provide comprehensive support. They guide survivors to safe accommodations, medical help, and other essential services, offering a holistic approach to recovery. Segment 3. Key legal protections for domestic violence survivors. The Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act PWDVA 2005. In India, the Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act provides significant protection to survivors. It allows survivors to seek immediate relief through legal orders, including residence orders, monetary relief, and protection orders. Legal aid programs assist in filing cases under this act. The Domestic Violence Act's provision. Protection orders prohibit abusers from further violence or harassment. Residence orders ensure that survivors have a safe place to stay, even within shared households. Monetary relief ensure that survivors have financial support such as compensation for medical expenses or losses incurred due to the abuse. Other legal remedies. Legal aid programs also assist survivors in seeking other legal remedies, such as criminal charges against the abuser or civil suits for damages. Segment 4, overcoming barriers to seeking help. Fear and stigma. Many survivors of domestic violence fear retaliation from the abuser or social stigma. Legal aid programs provide a confidential and supportive environment, ensuring that survivors feel safe and empowered to seek help. Lack of knowledge. Survivors often don't know where to turn or what legal options are available. Legal aid programs raise awareness through workshops, outreach programs, and free consultations, helping survivors understand their rights. Accessing legal aid in rural and remote areas. Legal aid programs have made significant strides in reaching rural and underserved communities where access to legal assistance is limited. Legal aid clinics and mobile legal units ensure that survivors in remote areas can also seek justice. Segment 5, how to access legal aid for domestic violence issues. Approaching legal services authorities. Survivors can approach the nearest district legal services authority DLSA or state legal services authority SLSA to apply for free legal aid. The process typically involves filing out an application form, assessing financial eligibility, and receiving assistance from trained legal professionals. Working with paralegal volunteers, PLVs. PLVs play a crucial role in guiding survivors through the process of filing complaints, gathering evidence, and understanding their rights. They provide emotional support and practical help in preparing documents for legal action. Other resources. In addition to legal aid, survivors can access emergency shelters, counseling services, and NGOs that work on domestic violence issues. These organizations often collaborate with legal aid programs to provide comprehensive care. Conclusion. Legal aid programs are a lifeline for survivors of domestic violence, offering the support and resources needed to escape abuse and seek justice. Through protection orders, legal counseling, and free representation, legal aid ensures that survivors have the opportunity to rebuild their lives safely. It's crucial that individuals facing domestic violence understand their rights and how to access help they need to protect themselves and their families. Call to action. If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, reach out to local legal services authority for assistance. Share this episode to help raise awareness about the role of legal aid in supporting survivors of domestic violence. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned for the next episode where we continue to explore the power of legal aid in resolving critical issues. Stay informed, stay safe, and stay empowered.